Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Legacy Survival. Today we're on version 1.7.10, and we're here on the title screen because, as you can hear, there's some new music. Also, the Minecraft Realms button is visible, finally. Then if we go into the options menu, we can see things are a little different here. So some of the settings have been removed from here, and they've been divided into a couple new menus. So we have music and sounds, which lets you change the sounds of things individually. It's not just music and sound anymore. You can kind of change some individual sounds, master volume, all that good stuff. We go to video settings. We have some more stuff in here that wasn't there previously. We can see that frame rate was changed here. Render distance is now chunk based. MIP map levels can be changed between 1 and 4. And then if we go to the resource packs button, you can see that the menu looks a lot more modern. We have available on the left and selected on the right. And then if we go into broadcast settings, Twitch streaming was introduced directly from Minecraft. That was introduced in this update. Obviously won't work because we're on the wrong version. But that's just how it goes. And as far as that goes, I believe that's everything here on the menu. So, if I go back to title screen, we can load into the world here. And right now I am at the old base because I am going to have to do some cleanup. If I go to my achievements here, we could see all my achievements have been reset once more. And this is actually because achievements are now per world, as are statistics. So you can see my statistics have also been reset, unfortunately, but what can you do? Actually, it seems like some of them are still partially here, but most of them aren't. So, there's also a variety of new achievements, but we'll be getting to those when we get to them. So I am going to go knock out those old achievements real quick, and then we're going to jump right back into the action. Oh, actually, one more thing. As you can see, the skin servers are now using a compatible version, so you can now see my skin. No more Steve skin anymore, and also my cape. So, I am going to come back when I have some achievements. And actually, I'm going to show some of these early achievements because you can see as I get them, they show up down in the bottom there. So this would be announced to the whole server if you were on a server, so that's similar to how it is today. Gonna get back to it now. Won't bore you with all the details. For breeding my animals, I just got a new achievement, repopulation. So if you go here, into the achievements, we can see where it is. Right next to cow tipper. Now, if you breed cows, you can get a new achievement. And since I need some sugar to bake a cake, I may as well show that sugarcane is now slightly different. It's biome colored. So over here we can see that we have kind of a nice green. And if I take it over to this deserty area, and I find some water, which there might not actually be any. Let's see. Where else can I take it? I think this should have a different color over here. This snowy spot. So if I take it over here, put it on the sand, you can see it's a little bit darker, bluer, because it's in a different colored biome. Alrighty, well, I'm back in the base, and I have most of the old achievements, except for some of the tedious ones. These ones I'll just end up getting eventually, you know, Overkill, Return to Sender, and then Monster Hunter and Sniper Duel and such. I just haven't bothered to kill any monsters yet. Stuff like that, but there is one old achievement I haven't bothered to get yet, and that would be to catch and cook a fish. And the reason being is that fishing was updated this update. So first of all, you can enchant fishing rods now. Hope for something good. Wow, that was really bad. Lure 2. So you could also get Luck of the Sea, which, as you would know, would increase your chance of getting treasure and decrease your chance of getting junk. And then what I got here was Lure, which just increases your chance of catching fish. So, talked about junk there. You can now catch junk and treasure when fishing, in addition to there being more fish. So let's see if we can't reel up some new ones. And as you can see, the bubble trail is now here as well. And we just caught a plain old fish. So hopefully that doesn't consist. Hopefully that doesn't persist. So there we have a salmon. And you can see that it's using a kind of a different texture than it would use nowadays. And we have our first piece of junk, rotten flesh. There's a whole variety of junk you can catch. I won't be catching everything, but I'll show stuff as I catch it. Since I showed enchanting for this fishing rod here, I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about some slight changes to enchanting. So fishing rods can get unbreaking in addition to the two things that I mentioned before. And also, just about anything you can enchant with durability can get unbreaking when you enchant it. So for instance, swords, armor, bows, they can now all get unbreaking. And in addition, while you can't necessarily enchant things like shears, you can apply unbreaking to them at an anvil with an enchanted book. I'll show that later if I happen to have some unbreaking books. I don't know if I do, though. And I'm just going to keep on fishing here. Ah, there we go. There's our second new fish. We have the pufferfish. So, there's two things you can do with this. You can either eat it and poison yourself terribly, or you can throw it in a brewing stand. So let's get some water bottles here. Fill them up. And then put them in there. Oh, oops, I have this turned on. And off camera, I constructed a little hopper system that I think makes brewing take a little bit less input. So anyways, if I put this pufferfish in here with a netherwort to make an awkward potion, we will see something new. And it's about to finish up here, so without further ado, as you might already know, water breathing potions introduced in this update. So you can obviously have your helmets with respiration, but this makes exploring the ocean even easier. Not that there's too much of a reason to do it yet. Anyways, I'm gonna go cook up this fish here. Have a little bit more food. Oh, I need to turn off the auto extract here, otherwise I won't be able to get the achievement. And now that that's done, I just pull the lever, it automatically extracts, flick it on again, and I'll be able to put in some more potions. And there we go, delicious fish. And since I'm still sort of here on the topic of fishing, I may as well talk about some of the new statistics introduced. So we have distance traveled by horse here. And then we have, if I can look for it here, we have animals bred. And we have junk and treasure fished. So as you can see, we fished up one junk and no treasure. Thanks to my lure enchantment, treasure was even rarer than it would be. So that's all I can do about that for now. Well, night falls on the base here, which is good because I have some things to show relating to monsters. So the first is how to get diamonds to you in single player. Just throw a diamond to a zombie, and if it can pick up items, which this one can't, you'll get the achievement. Another thing I can do here, maybe I don't want to do this so close to the base. I guess it's no big deal. I can always patch up a hole, right? So if we come up to a creeper here, and we use a flint and steel on it, it forces it to explode. There's some utility to that. I think speedrunners use it to deal with creepers quickly and effectively without getting hounded by them, but in a normal world, not too much reason to do it. So I'm gonna go see if I can find a zombie that will be a willing participant. There's also a couple new rare mobs that can spawn, so we're gonna be looking for those, and I'll jump cut around as I find them. Excuse me, sir, would you like a diamond? He would not like a diamond. Let's see if these two jokers are interested. Ah, there we go. Diamonds to you. Thank you, Mr. Zombie, for taking that. And now, if I could have it back, I'd be much appreciative. Thank you very much, sir. Kind of funny that using a flint and steel forces a creeper to explode, but lighting it on fire doesn't. Alright, well, let's see if we can find those other things that we're looking for here. Here we are. If I'm careful here, I don't think anything's behind me. We have rare mob number 1, witches. Used to previously only spawn in witch hunts that generated rarely in swamp biomes, which I didn't find any while exploring, funny enough, even in those 2 episodes where I was going all over the darn map. But now, they can spawn anywhere. It's just a little bit rare. They can also drink water-breathing potions if they need to, but you don't see that very often at all. A little bit more that we need to find here. So I guess I'll see you when I see them. Well, I'm glad I found this guy before morning came, because it's about to happen. But as you can see, he's holding an enchanted bow. So mobs can now hold weapons and armor enchanted with Unbreaking, and of course drop them. I believe Unbreaking is the only enchantment they will hold at this point, but I could be wrong on that. And there you go, Unbreaking. Pretty nice. But it's morning, so we're gonna have to wait yet another night for that next mob. Oh, okay. So I'm being chased by this guy now. He's actually faster than me. So chicken jockeys were introduced in this update, and took me a while to find, a couple nights, although I think it only took me like 2 more after I stopped. But they have zombie variants, and there's also zombie pigmen, chicken jockeys. Let's just deal with this guy. There we go. Chicken, you are now free. Go forth. And finally, in regards to mob changes, it's not something that's exactly easy to show, so I'll just mention it. Now zombies only spawn with a 10% chance of being able to break doors. So previously, if you were on hard, any zombie could walk up to a door and break it, but now only some zombies do, which makes it a little bit easier to protect villages, I guess. But anyways, now we have to move on to crafting, and I'm going to start with something that's a little bit overdue. Quite frankly, I'm not sure how I missed it in the first place, but I did. These were added back in 1.4, 1.4.2 specifically, I think. But if we take sticks here surrounding leather, we get item frames. And like I said, I have no idea how I missed these, considering they're such a pivotal decorative block. But if we take a map here, and we put it in the item frame, previously, if you put a map in, it would only take in the space of the item frame itself. But now, it takes up the whole frame, as you can see. Let's see, more crafting we need to do, and I think I might actually need to, I actually need to do some smelting here. Let's take some of our sand, and real quickly, put it in the hoppers. Let that smelt for a little bit. And while that smelts, I'm going to make some iron bars, because I have to show something in regards to those. Let's see here. Iron bars. And we'll take some red dye here. Red's always a good color. So let's see, do we have enough? We should have enough now, yes. go over to my fancy blocks chest and take out the rest of the glass. We take it out, we surround it around some dye, and we have stained glass now. And with stained glass, we have stained glass panes. So yet another pretty cool decoration block. And additionally, stained glass panes and iron bars will connect properly now. And they will also individually connect to glass. So previously they wouldn't have really done that. And if you wanted to use them together, it would have looked kind of ugly. But now that's nothing to worry about. And also they're 2 pixels wide. I believe previously they were 1 pixel. So let's break those up and put these back in the dyes and dyed blocks. Probably gonna have to make another chest for this eventually if I decide to use more. I'll put these in the fancy blocks chest. I definitely need to make another fancy blocks chest in the future. You can clone written books now by putting a written book in with an already or with a writable book. So that's useful if you want to distribute them. Another minor thing, if I set myself on fire here, you can jump in a cauldron now to put yourself out, and it consumes some of the water in the cauldron. So we'll put this, actually I'm going to hold on to this because I'm going to have use for it in a little bit for a personal build. So if I head on over to the Nether now, and I'm going to sprint on over. Oh, I forgot to mention when I was looking at the controls earlier. So let's go back to the controls. If I scroll all the way down here, first of all, you can change the hotkeys for your hotbar slots. Secondly, if we scroll all the way down here, did I miss it? Maybe I missed it. Ah, there we go. It was all the way at the top. There's now a hotkey for sprinting, so you don't have to double tap anymore. You can just press the hotkey and it goes. Pretty handy. Now that we're in the Nether, you might notice that the music cut off. But I'm going to take this portal down here and wait a moment as well, because Nether portals are now no longer limited to the standard design. The old 2x3 is now just the minimum amount, but really you have a flexible design now. So if I want to make this one in the Nether a 3x3 for instance, I can do that. And since we're here in the Nether, if you listen closely, try to get to an area that's more quiet, you can hear that the Nether ambience is pretty different. There's now custom music just for the Nether. Previously it would occasionally just play the same tracks you would hear in the overworld, which was a little bit of a tonal shift, but now you hear special music just for the Nether. So we'll head back to the overworld in just a second. I only have a little bit more to show in this little segment. Just a few more things to show off before I wrap up here for the day. So another functionality of item frames that was introduced in this update is that they will now show the name of an item put in them above it. Previously they wouldn't have done that. And if I take this name tag, oh, and let me put the map back where it belongs. If I take this name tag and I come over to our sheep, you can see it's Jeb underscore. Another name tag Easter egg. It now flashes in rainbow colors. And one more thing, just a very little thing. If I come up here to a sort of a high place and I jump off, a little ring of particles will form around my feet when I land. So 1.7 is a very big update, and there's a whole lot of changes to biomes, so I decided to cover a lot of the other changes to other systems on today's video, And in the next video, I will be covering all of the different biomes and the changes to existing biomes and all that good stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I will see you all next time.